What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Crush This, the Monster Truck Podcast. My name is Brad Shaw, also known as the Monster Truck Canucker, and the guy that's over on this side of me is a two-time racing winner. You got his second race win this past week in LaSalle, Illinois. Outlaw Monster Truck Drags. My co-host, the only one and only Cheech Danagosh. Cheech, how's it going, buddy?
Hello. Nice Tuesday. Coming back from LaSalle. That was a fun time. I mean, it's always great to see Brooke and Nick. We'll be seeing them again this weekend. So we got a kind of a double header. This is a first for me. Colton's used to this stuff, but doing shows back to back, doing different shows in 1 week. And this time we're going to be racing tomorrow at the Champaign County Fair, hometown track for the bosses and the team. And we got some heavy hitters coming in, Colton, Kiser, and American Scout. And we have Against the Grain. And I think we have Lone Eagle with the Super Trike that's going to be there. And then right after that, I got a truck to West Lebanon, New York for Monsters and Megas event, that big event that's going to be Friday and Saturday. And then we kind of stay put and do some Deal Wilson shows. So we'll be hanging out with the Virginia Giant.
Well, you've been all over the place, and you mentioned the one guy that's down below us on the screen that's going to be racing against you tomorrow night in Champaign, Illinois. Our good buddy, Colton Kiser. Colton, welcome back. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going great, as all the viewers can hear. I'm in this tin can going down the smoothest stretch of road in the country, I-70 through Indianapolis. I just got through the 65-70 split, so I just got through the worst part of it, at least for that 5-mile stretch. And but I'm doing great. We are very busy this season. It's been a good time. It's been a little chaotic, but it's all right. This is one that, when we booked this one, I was looking at my schedule. I was like, okay, it's conveniently placed right before we go to Farmington, Missouri the next day. So it'll be a good time. Always great to race against Cheechers. I got to race against him in Lebanon, Missouri, and I'm excited. Truck's working all right, so we'll see what the old girl can do in Champaign and the 5 other places I got to be this week.
So I want to ask, since you're talking about the roads, so what's worse, that stretch of road you're on, or when I was with you guys, that stretch of road going from Indiana to Ohio? Which one's worse?
Indiana to Ohio.
Yeah, Indiana to Ohio's worse. There's just 1 or 2 really bad spots in Indiana, but in Indianapolis, kind of where I just came through. But yeah, the stretch going from Indiana to Ohio, get your kidney belts ready, whether you're coming or going, either way. It's a good time. Cheech is familiar with it.
Yeah, you get your Hans device on. Let me rephrase that. The stretch of road between Indianapolis to Ohio, because when you pass, you go to the western portion of the state, it's a lot better than the eastern part. But there's some bad roads one of the worst is if you go to, it's in Colorado. It's like as soon as you enter the state of Colorado on 70, it's pretty rough. As soon as you cross state lines, it's like rumble strips. And you're going through that Colorado portion on 70. There's some rough ones, but there's some good ones too. But Indiana holds it. Between Indianapolis and Ohio, that's probably the worst one out of the whole king caboodle. But like Colton said, we drive by that a lot. It's so bad I have to go up 80, 90.
I remember going down that road when we did we went to Canfield, and I just remember how bumpy that road that trip was in that our old RV you guys had. Like,
oh yeah,
And like here in Canada, like if any of you guys ever get to experience like around where I'm at, Highway 43 going to Edmonton, that road's like a microwave piece of bacon. You're like this the whole drive. You need an off-road truck to get on that road.
Oh no.
But
Man.
But man, it's awesome to have you on. I know the last time that all of us were on screen, I accidentally ended the podcast for you guys. I was in school, and
Hey, that's all right though. We put it back on.
You know, and now we're with the new setup, the new format, which is awesome. Thank you guys for all the feedback from last week's episode and letting us know how good it went, and that was awesome. But let's talk about, you know, this last couple of months that you've been on. You know, you guys have been busier than ever. You know, and now you're running a new identity. You know, you decided to pick up some fishing, and now you're going fishing. Talk about how all that came about.
Yeah, so it all came about in about 5 days. You know, that the Warsaw Fair that we do, by far one of my favorite shows of all time to do. If not, probably like my top like one, my most favorite spot to go do a show at. The fair wanted something new for identities because they generally bring in kind of a similar group every year, and so I knew I had the 1976 front clip laying around, which was formerly Brandon Overmeyer's temporary King Kong front clip. I was like, you know what, I got to do something with it. So called Trey Myers up, got a body, and or got a cab and bedsides, drove all the way out to Maryland, which was a good time. Came back and I called my my awesome wrap sponsor, Luke DeLue with Michigan Wraps, and I was like, hey dude, I gotta do something here. He's like, all right, what are you thinking? And this is a identity that I had been thinking about for a little while. But I wasn't sure if it was ever going to come to fruition. Obviously it did. And I told Luke, let's do a red to match the wheels, and he found probably one of the most beautiful reds I've ever seen in my life. And then we put it all together, and then 3.5 shows, I ran out of talent and dumped it over racing Tommy Verlone and Dirt Crew. It was awesome.
Man, oh man. So you came up, it was an idea that you had, and you know, and you kind of destroyed it. But talk about the cool thing when you went to Warsaw, and there's footage I saw you fishing on your monster truck. And did you catch anything in tights? What was going on there?
Oh yeah, no, well, you know, obviously Warsaw lakefront property, it's beautiful, and by lakefront I mean we just park out in front of the lake. And I was like, you know what would be totally cool is if I backed the truck up to the lake or pulled it up to the lake and fished off of it. So I sacrificed one of my Ugly Stick fishing poles, which, you know, a lot of people talk crap about the Ugly Stick brand fishing pole, but I can tell you that fishing pole has never had anything holding it into the flagpole, kind of, you know, flagpole holder. And it has survived countless slap wheelies, a rollover, jumping a combine. So worked out pretty good. And then my other fishing pole, obviously I didn't do anything with it other than try and fish off of it. The only thing that was caught that day was a good vibe, and we'll take that.
That is a cool deal about that, you know, and you come around and you get that. I mean, yeah, the stuff happens, but you're rebuilding it and whatnot, and that's pretty cool. But, you know, with that going on, you know, you said 5 days, you went to the Ford body, and you came about with the paint. And now I want to talk about a little bit about your Anderson, Indiana show with the good old Monster Truck Throwdown, and having yourself your own Joe Foley experience.
Oh, you betcha. You know, Anderson, Indiana was a bit of a fever dream for me because, you know, I knew Elliot was doing it, and when we got asked to do it, I was like, oh, you betcha. 25 minutes from the house? Yeah, we'll be there. And now, don't get me wrong. Every single truck that weekend had issues, some worse than others. Poor Too Tall, he kicked the rod through the pan. Joe Foley, he did everything but roll it, and it probably would have been better if he just rolled it. Old Johnny Kohler, he just rolled it a couple times. Didn't really have anything too crazy happen. But man, that was a really good time. Made it to the finals made it in the finals in racing against Too Tall. Now that being said, I'm not going to talk myself up too much on making it to the finals because it's only because Darren Basil broke. But we made it. It was a good time. Completely melted down a Turbo 400, which it was all right. Yeah, the old girl was singing, and I felt like I was putting it up there a little bit. I was keeping up with everybody. So to take a truck that was built, 13, 13, 14 years ago, and have it keep up with a lot of modern trucks. I think that says something. Jacob Ladwin was there too, and poor guy lost a shock right before freestyle, so he went out to meet. But it was a killer time. They packed the house, and I think we'll be back next year. I hope we are in Anderson because it's a good time. Like I said, it's close to home. I was in my own bed every night.
Just letting you know, your audio's going a little robotic-y, but that's understandable because you're on the road. So, let's go back to Warsaw quickly because they kind of had an obstacle that was a little bit out of the ordinary. A freaking combine. They decided to build a combine jump, and how is that? Because that must have been a little bit kind of different for you to see that sitting there.
Okay. Now, I don't know. Is it staticky real quick? Sorry, before I answer that. Is it real staticky for you guys too?
Yeah, it's real staticky for us as well.
Okay. Is that a me thing?
I think it's on your end.
Oh, I hope not. That sucks. Is my audio coming through?
Yeah, it's coming through really robotic-y live. Maybe try exiting and rejoining. It might work. It might fix it.
Yeah, let me do that.
All right. Well, while we take a break with Colton there, Cheech, let's talk about a little bit about your weekend out in LaSalle.
Yes.
Getting the racing win. Talk about that, man. How they talk about how you're feeling after all that.
Man, it was LaSalle has a little bit of a history of monster truck racing, which is pretty cool. Yeah, some fans brought like old posters back like in 2000. I think it had like a maybe 99, 98 or something like that, and they had
no, it's robotic-y again.
You got any earphones?
Oh, that sucks. I don't know how.
We
were doing good for a while.
Do you have earbuds?
But I'll still try to answer your question though. I do apologize for everybody listening. The combine was super cool. I didn't know it was going to happen. I was talking with the guys that kind of run that show. And, one of them was like, "Oh, I'm trying to get a combine." I was like, "We're doing a what now?" What's happening? And at first, the one that was on the way, there ended up being some mishap with it, and then they ended up getting another one, an old cleaner, tin can vibe. And that was super fun. The jump looked huge, but it wasn't anything too crazy. And then, of course, me being me, I opened my mouth when I probably shouldn't have, and I mentioned getting an airplane. So I think those guys are not saying they are or aren't, but I think they are going to try and look into getting an airplane for next year. But we'll see what happens.
Are you still there? for some reason it's getting.
I think he's probably getting bad service.
Yeah, you're getting bad service right now, buddy. Yeah. Well, we'll still try to continue, or do you want to reschedule? It's up to you, buddy.
I mean, if it's coming through real bad, we can totally reschedule it. I feel really bad. I'm sorry,
dude,
guys.
it is what it is. You're traveling.
Yeah.
So Cheech, do we have any?
Yeah.
Do we have anything lined up for next week?
Well, I don't think so, but I could possibly live record this again, or record it with me and him there.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah. If you could do that, and then I can put it up, or we could try it again next week. But we'll definitely try to get it back next week somewhere somehow.
Yeah, because next week, as my schedule looks right now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I will be free.
Because as of right now, maybe some alien that's from another galaxy is listening to this probably completely understands what Colton's saying right now.
So then let's try to do so then since you're off next Tuesday, let's try to do this again next Tuesday, and that'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. No, we can totally do that. Yeah, again, I greatly apologize. It sucks.
All good, buddy. Hey.
Yeah, because it was going great until all of a sudden it wasn't.
Yeah, technology happens, man. It is what it is, but we'll do it again next week, brother.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. That's not an issue. So, well, I mean, I appreciate you guys for having me. It was almost going to be a long while and a really good time, but again, like you guys said, technology is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, hey, and I did. I made it all the way with no road rage.
Yeah, and that's the best part. We didn't have to bleep you or anything.
Oh, hell.
Well, Colton, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you, teachers. You guys take her easy, and we'll try and do this again next week.
Sounds good, buddy.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right, deuces, guys.
See you, buddy. Again, guys, that stuff kind of happens,
Yeah, it's Brad's fault.
Blame Canada, right?
No, blame Frontier. He has Frontier cell phone service.
Yes, Frontier. Hashtag blame Frontier cell phones. But guys, we'll still chat a bit. Like we were, like I asked Cheech earlier, talking about this past weekend in LaSalle, Illinois.
Actually, Joe Foley is supposed to be on with this experience, but he's probably just doing Joe Foley things. I'll chew his ass up this weekend.
Hashtag
Be like, hey, mister, we had a podcast and you didn't help your end.
Yeah, we'll get Joe on that at some point and talk about the whole Foley experience.
Yeah, we'll get Colton back on next week or stuff like that. So I mean,
it is what it is.
It was a good 20 minutes episode.
Oh yeah, But let's talk about LaSalle.
LaSalle, man, doing the first time a Joey a la Monster Truck Drags. I know Mark and Kurt did the one in Mansfield. I didn't know what I was coming into first. I mean, he was talking about a simple track. I mean, for his standards, it was simple, but it was actually a pretty fun track. And it was still a little intimidating. It was a driver's track. It was kind of like a Martinsville. It was long straightaway with a really 180 turn. And, we did our qualifying and stuff like that. Nick was top qualifier. I qualified second. And, then Brooke and then Kurt. But I took out Brooke the first round, and then pretty much they had a B main and an A main, and went ahead and took on Kurt. Only problem was the light was malfunctioning during the portion of the finals, so we had to redo it. So we redid it, and it was a close finish. I had to pour the beans on down the file straight away because I was like, oh crap, Kurt's coming down the straightaway too. So it was a good race between both of us. And but it kind of ruined our trucks throughout the program because there wasn't an intermission, and we used the intermission a lot to help cool our motors because unfortunately, a lot like the Monster Jams and people that drive Chevys and stuff like that, and some Fords, but we don't have radiators. So what we do is we fatten up the motors and try to get the fuel to kind of cool the motors down. Well, it was kind of going fast pace. One of those deals. Show started at 5, ended around 7, so we still had sunlight. So two wheel skill. We just quickly, I just did some traditional sky wheelies and just parked her just to get the fans going and stuff like that. And then I went about 6 to 8 hits, um, and went from there. But I accomplished what needed to be done and went on for that. And good lineup too because we had outside of Kurt, we also had Brooke in Misfire and Nick in Kraken. So it was a pretty good lineup just for 4 trucks. I mean, Nick burned it down during two wheel skill and in freestyle. It was a packed house. And it was pretty cool because I had a couple of my buddies that do the RC stuff. They made a little area for the fans to watch, the RCs and stuff like that. So that's gonna be pretty cool. But now we're gonna try to get that momentum and try to transfer it over to Champagne, and then we're gonna try to get that momentum again and go to West Lab and just try to run the truck as hard as I can, not doing anything stupid that the truck will allow me to, and go from there. And I'm starting to feel a lot more comfortable with it. Me and number 9 are starting to mesh, and I'm excited about this route. That's where we're gonna have because outside of West Leb, we got one more. We would say Penda straight line style track at Connorsville, Pennsylvania, which is the Fayette County Fair, and near Uniontown, about an hour, about an hour and 20 minutes from home in West Virginia. So that's pretty cool. And then following that weekend, we'll be doing stuff in Carlisle for the Super Truck Nationals and doing stuff for Deal Wilson. So we got a couple shows with Mr. Deal Wilson. So I'm gonna definitely try to interview him on a one-on-one deal, and then we'll post that show on Crush This. I'm gonna try to get Joe Foley on the one-on-one, Chris Kohler, Nick Pag, and a couple others. So excited about that. Excited about the run that we're gonna have, and go from there. But I'm excited because number 9 is really going pretty well, and she's racing pretty good, and it's all based off of me. So I have to drive that truck a little different compared to Kurt and Mark's because Kurt and Mark has a locker in the front and a spool in the rear. I have an open in the front and a spool in the rear, so I need momentum a lot of times to help me out. I can't just tap the brakes and pitch it because as soon as I tap the brakes and I gun it, I'm just going to get a lot of wheel speed and not help for that. So I just need to do my turning with a little bit of momentum and then come around the apex and go from there. I'm starting be a little bit more, let's say, it's weird. Oh yeah, let me rephrase that. When you're racing a truck, it's weird leading your rear and then following with your front. You're entering the turn with your rear steer, then you're trying to follow through with your front steer. It feels weird, but that's what I had to do, and that's what I did in racing against the Pags and Kurt. So, yeah, LaSalle was a good time and had a pretty cool trophy with it, and yeah, but let's talk about more about the Outlaw Thunder Drags here because you had an opportunity to do a cool design, the Nightmare 2 truck, Nightmare Express.
Yeah.
How did that opportunity came about, and What did you have to do? Was there a little bit of ideas that Joey went back and forth with you about, or did he give you free reign? And if you had free reign, how did you combine that cool spider type deal and then go from there on a truck that's really legendary in the local Ohio area? And if you're an old school mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000 monster truck fan, outside Gary Bauer's Lone Ranger, Nightmare 2 slash Screaming Demon slash Nightmare Express has been a popular truck.
Yeah, well, been working with Joey for a couple of years now. You know, did some of his Pro 4 stuff or Pro 2 stuff when he was doing off road racing again. Designed some liveries for him, and then did last year's Outlaw Drags when it was just Canfield. They did the poster and some of the social media graphics for that, and we started. When I was in school, I wasn't doing a whole bunch of stuff for people just so I can focus on school. Because if you know me, I have horrible ADHD. Okay, I'm like a feral. I'm like Jimothy. If anybody knows anything about Jimothy, that weird looking raccoon thing. I'm just a feral person with my ADHD, so I have to be medicated. So one of the people I was working with was Joey, and we did some stuff for the Canfield and then Mansfield and LaSalle. But then he's like, "Hey, I want to do a new Nightmare Express," because they were going to more of a modern Ford Super Duty front clip. And my thing when it comes to doing kind of retro old names, and I did this with Stomper, I did this with Carolina Crusher and Monster Patrol, is being a diehard fan like I am, I want to pay tribute to the legacy of the truck, right? But also bring it into a modern day kind of idea. Mm-hmm. So with this, it took me a bit to kind of figure out an idea, right? Because Nightmare Express, people always think of, how simple and clean it looked, right? With the classic flames on the front. And so my idea was kind of just split it down the middle. The back half obviously is completely new, completely different. I have some really cool graphic assets I've acquired over the years of doing graphic design, which I think next year or 2028 is 20 years of doing graphic design, which is absolutely crazy to think. And now I'm just doing school now, so it still boggles my mind that I still am going to school for it, but. Yeah, we kind of went back and forth a little bit, me and Joey, on kind of, different textures, different things to kind of make it, unique. And, I noticed on the truck, it had the kind of Grim Reaper character, which I chose a completely different one. It's just on the back end, I didn't want it too crazy. And the thing with having that truck is, if you see most trucks that are, let's say like a SUV style, you have more real estate to work with on the side because normally it's just the driver window that's the one that's cut out, not like the back ones. On Nightmare Express, however, because it has multiple seats, the passenger windows have to get cut out. So it kind of limits you a little bit on how big you can have a logo. And I didn't want to do it on the side just in case if Joe wants to put sponsors there or whatever, because I know he's a huge part of that truck with Gary. So if he wants to put sponsors there, if he does like a sponsored event or whatever. So we left the side able to have the logo. But then the Nightmare Express, I had a different font for Express, added, the spider web on it because there was one on the previous truck. Just kind of bring it into a modern day idea of it. So I love how it turned out. I was a little bit nervous, though, because on my computer, the colors working in. So with graphic design, there's two kind of main color variants that I learned more about them this last year in school is CMYK and RGB. RGB is mainly for like computer monitors and like stuff like that. So like if I'm designing something for BeamNG or Rigs or Rods, I use RGB. But if I'm doing something for print, is CMYK. I think it's cyan, magenta, yellow, and technically the K is called key. It's not really a color per se, but it kind of represents black and stuff like that. So I designed it all in CMYK, and on my computer screen, it's a little bit muted, right? So the red didn't pop on my screen, so I was a little bit hesitant. But then when Joe sent me the first picture and it showed how vibrant that red is on the back, I'm like, thank God. Like it made me very nervous. So I'm just super appreciative of Joe, giving me opportunities, working with me, and I love being able to do that. Joe has given myself and yourself a lot of opportunities in this industry, and you mentioned in your post that he was one of the first people to let you help out at shows, and he sponsored our podcast in the beginning, and Joe is such a solid dude, and he wants to see people succeed, and it shows. Look at look at yourself. He signed your trophy, and I've gotten to do cool things because of him. And I'm just appreciative of the opportunity, and I'm excited to see what else that we're gonna create and come up with. With working with Joe, you never know what he has his hands in and what he's going to be doing next. So that's the one thing I love about that is, I've gotten to design Pro 4 trucks or Pro 2 trucks because of him, the Outlaw Truck Cross logo, other cool things. So ultimately, I'm just very appreciative of it, and I'm glad that people like it. And that's also the other thing that makes me very nervous, when I did Stomper and Monster Patrol Carolina Crusher, is when you're doing a very classic name and a name that has legacy in this industry, you get nervous about what people are going to think about it. Especially when it been Monster Patrol. That one I was nervous about because
the
it's
30th anniversary one.
Yeah, because like old school fans, and I'm one of them. You're one of them. We are very picky when it comes to paint schemes, right? And yeah, it turned out better than I expected, and I'll say this: no AI was used in my designs.
Ew.
And if you want to check a cool video out, I think it's Off Track Productions on YouTube. People stop using AI. It's ruining this industry. You look at so many promoters are starting to use it. Please don't. There's guys like myself, Mike Arndt, Jason Becker, Ethan Saunders, so many talented designers out there that, we're proud of what we do. Please stop using AI, people, promoters and teams. If people didn't know, the latest Black Pearl Designer World Finals, there was AI used. Guys, please stop using it. It is ruining graphic design, and I'm very passionate about this because I'm currently in debt for 20 grand right now going to school. I'm in student debt right now, student loans, because I love what I do. And yeah, I've made mistakes in the past, but I'm trying to make right on what I do, and doing graphic design school is going to help me be better at what I do and others, right? So again, I'm very passionate about it. Sorry for ranting, but AI is just a bunch of garbage.
Which is it? It is. A lot of people use it and stuff like that. And also, for parts too, like RAM went up just as much as freaking, if you compare it to like diesel prices and gas prices, RAM on a computer is expensive now.
Yeah.
It's terrible because the AI usage and stuff like that people are using. It's just it's starting to become rough, and then it's also rough with the diesel going on too. I mean, it's starting to. I was talking to a couple guys, and now they're dropping shows just to try to do regional shows, and try to fulfill what's going on and stuff like that. It's kind of rough right now what's going on, but prices are somewhat going down, but we'll see how it goes, and go from there. But also that weekend, outside the Joey show, I also went to IRP. Indianapolis Raceway Park, to watch some not Xfinity,
Arca
Menards racing and some truck racing. Ryan Vargas was there, and was really funny was 2 rows down was Corey Hine. It was him and his girlfriend and a couple marketing people. We saw him, we didn't bug him, those guys pull their pants up the same way we do. They're the ones that are racing. They're enjoying their time to watch their buddies or friends or studying the truck race for themselves. The last thing you want to do is just go up to them and be like, "Hey, man, I'm a big fan," stuff like that, and take a picture and stuff like that. And it was cool seeing him afar, which is kind of ironic because 2 days later he wins the Brickyard 400. But I have something for you, not for you, but I got at Indianapolis Raceway Park because they were pushing the U.S. Nationals like it's going out of
Yeah.
style.
The big go.
Well, this is last year's, but it's a program book.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mission.
Back when Austin Prock was on the good guys.
Yeah, this one. They were giving these away at the event. They had an NHRA booth there. So that was pretty cool. I'm really really enjoying how Tony Stewart's pushing this product.
Oh yeah, with him with the Elite Motorsports deal, and we're gonna be able to get to see Erica Enders in a top fuel dragster. Aaron Stanfield, I believe, in a top fuel dragster at some point. So I'm excited for that. We were speaking about NHRA, and I decided to bust this out. One of my favorite things I own.
Oh, I got something, and I'm gonna debut it right here because I bought it. Thank you.
Oh, snap.
I'll be right back.
Oh snap!
Hi, turn off my camera.
There you go. Again, guys, thank you to Colton for coming on for a bit. We'll have him on next week. Audio issues, things happen. Just waiting on Cheech. So next week we will hopefully have Colton on, talk about everything that we were supposed to talk about tonight. Audio seems low on my end. My friend says, let me see. No, mine's up. Let me turn up my gain. If you're still watching, Brett, let me know. Also, NASCAR cards are coming back soon at some point. I'm going to be doing some NASCAR stuff again. Let's see here. Let me try something here. Let's see. No, it's not going to work. It won't work. Play the Jeopardy music. Oh, he's back.
I was letting you sing your song for a little bit.
I was doing the Jeopardy theme song.
Yeah, I know. I heard it.
Oh, that's a long, skinny car.
Yeah. It's a die-cast.
Yeah.
And I got it on Whatnot.
I need to check out Whatnot.
It's going to be the end of you.
Yeah, my wife would be mad at me if I...
Unless you buy something for her.
True, there probably is Harry Potter and Taylor Swift stuff on there.
So, outside of John Force, this guy is pretty much... There it is. Just kidding. This guy was pretty much one of my favorites. So, it was John Force in Funny Car. If you saw the long box, obviously it's not a funny car. It's a top fuel dragster. And I found it on Whatnot, and I said, I got to get this.
Oh, I already know what car it is. Oh, yeah.
The 1995
Dude.
Budweiser King, Kenny Bernstein. It was Kenny Bernstein I root for.
What a car.
An action car, but the Bud King.
Kenny, man, like the career that man had was absolutely
Mr. 300.
Yep, Gainesville, 1992. I'm trying to find.
But it was him that I rooted for, and then obviously John Force. I was a huge John Force fan also.
I thought I had a picture, but I went to when I was in California last year. I went to the NHRA Museum, and I got to see one of Kenny's dragsters
Really?
sitting on the wall. I'm trying to find the picture. I got to see that. I saw Don Prudhomme's dragster, the Skull Bandit dragster. Sat in one of John Force's cars. Don't know what year it was, but let me see. Copy image, actually. Let me save the image. Let me see. I'm trying to put it up here. Image. Here we go. Create new uploads. Desktop. Where is it? Let me bring the size down.
There it is.
So, yeah, that is at the NHRA Museum in Pomona, California, right by the drag strip.
Okay, the font is different. So
Yeah.
do you know what year is that one?
I think this is either 91 or 92.
How crazy is it that he had all these sponsors like Quaker State, Budweiser, Mac Tools?
Oh, he had a shoe sponsor, Kangaroo Shoes. He was sponsored by like a margarita mix. Okay. Funny enough, John Force was sponsored by Rolling Papers at one point. His cars in the late 80s, early 90s, he had a sponsor called Easy Wider. That was Rolling Papers. And he also was sponsored by Colt 45 at one point. So John had some interesting sponsors.
So that's my newest addition in my collection.
You will be
I have a few.
You will be getting some stuff for your collection once I send these out in September, because I have all these for Cheech.
Oh yeah.
Because his favorite NASCAR driver is Ryan Blaney. So
yes, sir.
I've collected these cards throughout the years. A couple of these numbered. Also, here's a numbered card. I don't know if you know. Number 20 out of 199.
Davey Allison?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I got that. This Ryan Blaney fire suit card. Let me see what other numbered ones I got. This one's numbered 87 out of 100.
Blaney?
Yep. All these are mostly Blaney. 120 out of 175 Blaney. That's not numbered. Is this numbered? Nope. Autographed Blaney. He's got an interesting autograph.
Now let's see here. Pro stock drivers.
But yeah, I'm gonna be getting these sent to Cheech here within the next month.
That's awesome.
Just waiting on shipping stuff to come down, shipping to the States. I have like now we're just hanging out. We're hanging out there, buddy. All these are my NASCAR collection.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but I got some really, really good stuff that I'm going to show everybody. Like, I got some pretty rare cards in here that I still can't believe that I have.
Oh, just to let anyone know, Ryan Priest, if you're a NASCAR fan, is willing to trade some of his memorabilia for door dent numbers and diecast. So if it's a cool design and it's a 41 or a 60, and the car is the 60th or 14th, no, 41 car built or 60th car built. That is called a door number. He is willing to trade you that for one of his memorabilia. I think someone gave him a door number, and then he traded them for that car with his Wonder Bread fire suit.
Dude, I gotta say the rivalry between the prank war between Priest and Busher is amazing.
Yes, I enjoyed that.
I'm trying to find my Richard Petty autograph card because I love that card. But yeah, I have a lot of different cards. I was looking through a lot of my stuff, and I was like when Kyle Busch passed away, unfortunately, I was looking at a lot of my cards, and I have a 1 of 1 I was looking at. So
That's expensive.
this one's a printing plate card, so you can kind of see there 1 of 1. And then I think I have an autographed one too. Let me see. Wearing this cat brace is a little bit difficult sometimes. I think I have an autograph card. Yeah, I got an autograph card right here. Kyle Busch autograph. So some of my other part of my favorite collection. And then I have a bunch of NHRA cards and stuff like that. None are autographed. Here's a cool autograph one.
Ooh,
Rusty. I think I found my Richard card. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to take off this cast because this is annoying me. I know. I was in the chat there. My buddy Brett. I was in Discord with some of my friends. Brett was one of them, and I was ripping packs. And when I pulled the Richard Petty autograph card, we all lost our minds.
really?
Oh yeah. Here's a. It's not autographed or numbered, but it's a cooler card. Obsidian Texas Terry Labonte. That's a good card. Where's my autograph of the king? My brand. This is actually another cool card. This is a number 1 of 5 Brandon Jones when he was with Junior Motorsports. So that's a really cool one. There it is. Here's my best card that I own. Numbered 49 out of 75. I was a couple of numbers off because if I got 43 out of 75, I would have lost my mind. But bam.
Ooh, there is your petty card.
Yeah. I got a few petty cards, but this is the best one I have. This is my favorite card in my whole collection. Just because like opening it and just losing my mind with my friends online. Let's see. I got a rookie Shane Van Cheeseburger Color Blast rookie. I love collecting stuff. Like I don't know. I guess for like collecting like NASCAR cards and stuff. I think the thing that really drew me to it was like the hunt of the chase. Like when you get like that low numbered card or you get something that you're like, holy crap, I have this. That's I think I understand why people collect like sports cards. Another cool card. This is actually a 1 of 1. Patch Jesse Iwuji. So, and then you get cards that are like they got tire pieces in them. You get ones that are like in special like packaging. Like this is a Bailey Curry card I got in the Panini Turn 4. Yeah, it's just a cool hobby that I picked up and spent a bit of money. Like this card here, this is 7 out of 25 Immaculate Collection Alex Bowman. Like I got so many different cards, and like I said, it's such a fun hobby. Like we were talking about Chris Buescher. Here is a
Mr. Buescher
Race Day Relics numbered. News with the 17 card, which I actually have the die cast of this car. So kind of a cool thing to have.
That's so cool.
Got this when I was working at Fastenal. But guys, thanks for nerding out with us a little bit. I know this is a different episode, when Colton was having his issues, his connectivity issues, but it happens, and we just pivot and kind of, it's talked about some random stuff, talked about Cheech's experience in LaSalle and all that, but we will try to get Colton on for next week's show. If not, Cheech will let me know who our guest is, and I will get a post up announcing that as well. So, Cheech,
no problem.
You're going to be at the Champaign County Fair tomorrow night, racing there, and then you are at West Lebanon, New York, for the Neverlift Monsters and Megas. I know my buddy Brett is excited because all he talks about is West Leb. Getting to drive there must be really cool. Watching a lot of that venue when you were growing up.
We turn her over. That's what the people want.
That's what
they got.
And I got a tore up truck.
But I'm excited about that. I know you got a few shows up in your sleeve too. We talked about that last week, and then you're gonna get to see some wrestling too, which is pretty cool also. But once again, thank you to J Concepts, thank you to MTRC, Back Channel Productions, and also Monster Truck Attitude, Downhill Monster Truck Racing. So once again, guys, thank you for being on and supporting us. We also still have our spread shop. We're still getting new to this and stuff like that. So I kind of like this format better. And we're going to do some cool things. So next week, we're going to try to get Colton back on. And then I'm going to start busting tail and getting some episodes here. So that's going to be cool.
Yeah. Kirk, I just saw your comment. Who is the most obscure driver you have a card of? I have two. And they're both autograph cards. Handsome Harry Gant. This one's this one's a regular, like they signed on the sticker. This one is an on card. So it's directly on the card as this one's a sticker. So this one is awesome, and having two Harry Gant, and this one's a numbered one. So I just saw that comment. I had to pull those out. But yeah, guys, I'll be at Monster Truck Throwdown Edmonton next month, and also Monster Jam Edmonton, helping out Team Throttle. So if you're watching the Edmonton live streams, you might see a familiar face when they do that.
This one.
Yeah, that one. You'll be able to see this fat Canadian.
Not this one. Not.
You'll see this one. This fat Canadian trying his best to work on trucks. So.
Oh, Canada.
But guys, as we have said for well over 10 years, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up, everybody.
I thought you were going to say keep your stick on the ice.
And keep your stick on the ice.
The women don't find you handsome.
They'll at least find you handy.
Find you handy.